Isn't this special? Look at our hand. We've just had a massive discount from the Emperor. Sylvanas that costs 4. That's pretty insane. Anyway, here's Kazaka's potion, clearly doing a bit of work there for him, but we have this discounted hand. The question is, how do we want to utilise these discounts? I'm eyeing up Umbra there. I'm also eyeing up Sylvanas, and I'm just thinking, what's the best way forward here? For the time being, it could be better to wait until I have 9 mana. So for the time being, we should be safe. There's Shadow Reaper Anduin on 8. You know, it's sort of the usual thing now. Raza on 5, Anduin on 8. Hey, what can you do?
The greatest virtue is patience.
Oh yes, they'll serve me.
Oh, that's a big deal. And actually now, Sylvanas, not really so important. After all, who would want to steal a 2-4 or a 1-3? This is far more effective. Now, I'm forcing him to have Psychic Scream. I'm forcing him to have Light Bomb. He's going about this turn very, very quickly, so clearly he has a plan in mind. Assume it's Light Bomb. Yeah. But that doesn't change anything. In fact, if he can't clear this, he's still dead, which is pretty amazing. Yep, and that's it. He's dead. Just like that. And in slower games like this, that is the value of the Emperor. Beating a priest quite decisively and, yeah, taking us to rank 6. Feels good. Okay, so what am I playing today? I've been having a lot of fun with Cubelock over the last month, and we're going back to Getmeowth's Cubelock, but this time you know, I've realised the potential of this deck a bit more. What makes this deck particularly interesting, for me at least, is Twisting Nether. The previous versions of Cubelock that I've been playing, I don't think they've run Nether, so for me, Nether has been a big deal, particularly in the mirror match, because a lot of people don't expect it, or it doesn't get played a lot on the wild mode version anyway. On the wild mode version of Cubelock, you've got to make room for your Void Callers, for Mal'Ganis, for maybe, you know, other cards that just don't exist in standard mode, and therefore you have to cut certain things. On standard mode, you know, especially like Control Warlock, you know, you will see cards like Twisting Nether. This is still a control style deck, although it can be very aggressive when it wants to be, if you have a good curve and, you know, if you have good cube targets on a Doomguard and then a Dark Pact, you can just steamroll your opponent. But yes, it is a control deck for the most part, and so running Twisting Nether is very, very useful. As I said, in the mirror match, you can just clear a board full of big demons. It has great value. The Emperor is the other interesting inclusion in this deck. As you saw in the previous clip, the Emperor there just gave me phenomenal value, but you have to be lucky enough to gather you know, a handful of reasonably good cards that can synergize with each other in order to take advantage of the Emperor value. Loatheb is a wonderful inclusion in this deck. It can stop spell-based lethals from various other decks. So, let's have a look at this deck in action on the wild mode ladder. Starting out here against a Druid, it's clearly an aggro Druid. because here come the small tokens. Dire Mole. Okay. So, here we've been given a perfect opportunity to defile. Now, one thing I've noticed over the last couple of weeks playing this deck is that Druids are becoming smarter. Yes, that's right. Their IQ is increasing. And they are playing around cards like Defile by buffing their board at the right time, meaning that they do not have a 1 health minion down on the board, which stops your Defile. Now, of course, you have the Librarian and the Defile combo, so if the highest health is 2 on the board, you can plop down the Librarian and the Defile and get good value. But now I just noticed that they've been getting smarter. Although this dude played into Defile quite heavily. But I guess he just wanted to play out his hand and hope that, hey, I hope that I didn't have Defile. There's always that possibility. So this deck can get overrun by aggro. It's a real possibility. But you can heal back up with Dark Pact. Now, speaking of getting overrun by aggro, Savage Roar to the face. Ouch. Puts me down there. We're not dead, but it makes you wonder, does he have another Savage Roar in hand? Is he setting me up for lethal on his next turn? We are not taking any chances. We're healing back up. So, that Savage Roar was quite ineffectual, actually. It did nothing. It was a waste. But hey, he didn't know that I had Spellstone, you know, plus Dark Pact. He didn't know that. Keeping in mind that we're heading into our turn 6 now. So we're still far away from Twisting Nether. I mean, we could coin out a Nether on turn 7. But hey, there's no need here. We've just had Hellfire. And I'm feeling so confident here that, hey, we can afford to tap. Now, why is Twisting Nether so good? Because as you head into the late game against an aggro deck, he'll refill the board with living mana. And if you've used both of your Hellfires, if you've used your Defiles to clear the other tokens, you may have 0 defense against living mana. So this is where Twisting Nether becomes very useful. Once they've seen the Hellfires and the Defiles, they don't expect anything else. They don't expect Demon Wrath, for example. They don't expect Twisting Nether. But with the Void Lord in hand, it's going to become very difficult for us to lose this game. And, you know, I don't want to take any risks. That is why I Dark Bombed the token. It looks like a waste. It's a 2 health minion there. It looked like an utter waste. But I don't want to take any gambles or any risks. I mean, there was no way for him to kill me with 3 minions on board that can attack, I don't think. Oh, let's Defile. Okay, so do we have any kind of lethal here? We're on 7, so we could tap. But I don't want to tap. Actually, that is lethal. What am I thinking? So, the prince there giving us lethal. Do you know, sometimes it's so easy to miss those things. You're so preoccupied with the board state, or you're preoccupied with whether to tap or not to tap, that you just miss. There's a Doomgarden board with lethal from the prince. Yeah, I'm going to start paying more attention to these games. Okay, let's look at one final game here. It's against another Druid. Now, it's more than likely aggro Druid. You know, I was facing a string of aggro Druids, one after another. Therefore, Defile is a good keep. I'm now looking for Hellfire. Okay. At least we have something to do here. Okay, so here we go. Right, this dude has walked straight into Defile, like the other guy. This is pretty good. And it doesn't look like much, killing off those lowly minions, but it's stopping him from steamrolling me. It's slowing him down, and that's so important. It's buying me a bit of time, because essentially what's happened is I've stopped that board of 3 minions from being buffed. I could have waited. There was an argument, hey, just wait for another couple of turns and get better defile value. I may not get better defile value if he buffs the minions up and there isn't a 1 health minion on the board to trigger defile. So, Loatheb is looking juicy next turn. Could stop a buff effect, potentially, or a couple of buff effects. He can still play Mark of the Lotus, but maybe he can't combo Mark of the Lotus with Power of the Wild, or place a couple of minions down the board and Mark of the Lotus. So Loatheb here, very, very useful, very effective.
I concede.
And there it is, a concede due to Loatheb. That feels really, really good. And that was enough to take us into rank 5. Wow, that feels really, really good. So we've kind of hit our target now for the season, and we can sort of chill out and not do very much. Okay, so this was Getmeowth's Cubelock, and as I've played this deck a little bit more, I've started to really sort of appreciate the value of Prince Tal'Daram in certain situations. I've started to appreciate the value more of Twisting Nether, and the Emperor, those 3 cards in particular. The last time I played this deck, I guess I didn't think carefully enough about how to utilise those cards. Even Spirit Singer Umbra has been phenomenal for me. And now that I've had more experience playing the deck, I've had a greater appreciation of her. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, I think experimentation with Cubelock will continue, although the rumours are that in the near future it will probably be nerfed. And if that's the case, hey, get in all of your Cubelock play while you can, and enjoy it while you can, because the chances are, yes, it will be nerfed. I think all of the aggro players are probably complaining about Voidlord and Dark Pact, so if it does get nerfed, what cards do you guys think will get nerfed? And do you guys think that nerfing Cubelock is justified? Or do you think it is a good defense against aggro, and therefore it should be still be a viable deck and shouldn't be nerfed? Yeah, tell me what you think in the comments section below, and you know, I'll be interested to hear your views. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I would be grateful. We're now going for 2,000 subscribers. That is the new goal. And yeah, I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.